Sinomsa here at Nkosi Talk Shows, Find Your Own Voice, Lead from Within. I'm on my own today, and for those who don't know me, I am a love harmonist, and I'm always here at Nkosi Talk Shows Monday to Friday. So the topic today is how to be the best version of yourself while in a relationship. Being the best version of yourself while in a relationship, it involves personal growth. It's very, very important, and effective communication and maintaining a healthy balance between individuality and partnership. So I'm going to share some tips of the importance so that you don't lose your identity when you lose your relationship. It's important to keep your identity. There are some people when they enter a relationship, they they give up everything of who they are, and they try to actually please the other person, in effect that they end up losing who they are, and they don't work on themselves because they want to keep a relationship. So if you are someone out there and you are looking into into enter a relationship, it's very, very, very important to actually when you enter a relationship, to understand the partnership, what relationship is about. Between individuality, you have to stand out as a person, your character, your personal growth. You have to grow with your spouse without having to change who you are as a person. That is a relationship. But some people, when they enter a relationship, they try to do things that their men want. Like they'll say, my husband likes me wearing this, he likes me doing this, he likes me doing this. What about what do you like? And then the husband will be like, my woman or my wife or whatever, my spouse likes me doing this, likes me doing this. Yes, there are some things that we like to see in our spouse, but the joy of life, of entering a relationship, is you being you and growing together with your spouse and having that loving and caring relationship, and being aware, self-awareness, being aware of who you are. It means you reflect on your values, reflect on your goals and priorities as well. And also understanding, what do you want from life while you are here on earth? What do you really want? Identifying your strength, identifying your weaknesses, working on your weaknesses and growing on your strength, improving, like self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth. When the foundation is not good, nothing works. If the foundation of your life is not good, we have to plant some things. Like if we enter a relationship, first, when you enter a relationship, you meet your spouse, your future spouse, and then you talk to that person. They tell you what they want, what's their desires, and you share yours as well, and you connect. And when you connect with that person, you don't give up your personality, you don't give up your values, you don't give up the person you are. You continue growing, and that person, they continue, you serve each other. It's all about serving each other. So let's look at when you actually, how do you grow? First, you communicate your needs, express your feelings, express your thoughts and your feelings openly, and you understand each other. When you express your thoughts, it means you being vulnerable to the other person, and your spouse, they have to listen uh, they have to listen to your feelings, how you're feeling. Mostly men, they intend not to care what is the woman feeling. They tend not to care. To them, it's like you get over it, you get on with it. They intend not to care. So it's very, very important as a man, or there are some women who don't really um, care about the feelings of their spouse. So it's very, very important if you're in a relationship or if you are not in a relationship and thinking into getting into a relationship, be a good listener. Start practicing with your friends. When somebody comes in and tell you what they are feeling is real, um, what they're going through is real. So it is very, very important to actually listen to your spouse and have compassion as well. And when you listen to them, they're not telling you to feel sorry for them, or they just want somebody like myself. When I have a problem, I intend to, when I'm speaking to my spouse, I'm not speaking to my spouse for him to feel sorry for me. I just want to share. I just feel like, wow, I need to share this problem, like what this is what I am going through. And it's then up to him whether he listens or he doesn't listen. But it's very, very important, guys, if you are in a relationship, listen to your spouse. And also, a relationship is all about growing together. When you meet somebody, so I'm gonna give you the big picture. When you meet somebody for the first time, they tell you their story, who they are, and you are like, you connect to them just before you enter a relationship with someone. You meet them, you're like, wow, they want to take you on a date. And then you agree to connect to go on a date. And then when you get on that date, you actually get along. And when you get along with that person, they tell you their story. And when they tell you their story, you listen and you tell them your story, who you are, because they want to know you. You get excited, you're playful, and they get to connect with you. They get to relate with you. When they relate with you, they get like excited. They're like, I hear you. Wow, you know what? This person, you know what, when you speak, the way you speak, the way you connect, the way I connect with you, I want to more of you. So that's why you end up like they sympathize with you, and when you go into a place where that person is sympathize with you, it means they're like, I wanna get to know you. I wanna date you and see where this relationship is gonna go, and then you relate to each other, and then you enter a relationship, and the relationship is born. The two people, they're linked together, and you become one. The beginning of a relationship, whenever you are dating somebody, if things don't go according to plan, or you drift apart, or you start fighting with your spouse, remember how the relationship began, the agreement that was made between the two people. And that agreement is real. It cannot be broken. It can only be broken if there is abuse in a relationship. There are some people that they end a relationship, and that relationship, when it comes to God, it wouldn't have ended, but it ends because they don't know how to deal with it. They're like, I don't know how to, because they focus on their feelings. For me, when I'm in a relationship, if I want to deal with something, I don't focus on my feelings too much. I focus on the other person as well. If they don't understand what I'm going through, I just have to go to God and say, God, help me to go through this pain. Help me to move forward with this pain. Because if my spouse does not understand it, like I'm African, my spouse is British. And there are some things like culture wise, I don't go with culture anymore. I used to like focus on the culture a lot, but I don't, because when it comes to God, when I had um, my journey with God, I realized actually you can't have both. You cannot follow God and then uh, depend on your culture as well. Something has to be broken because some culture is all about staying in sin. So I don't do that anymore. Where there is culture, I need to know if it's biblical. If it's not biblical, I don't go with that. So there are some culture that I follow, but there's some culture that I don't follow. I don't go with the crowd, but some I do. It's like if I need to move my life forward and take my life to the next level, I've got to go with the Holy Spirit. What does the Holy Spirit lead me to do? Those are the things that I do. So it's very, very important when you are in a relationship, um, to actually listen actively to your spouse, show empathy and validate their feelings, avoid assuming or jumping into conclusion. So when I'm saying avoid assuming, when somebody tells you their story or their feelings, expressing their feelings, don't assume that you know what they are feeling, because you don't. Don't assume anything, because when you assume, that means that that relationship it will affect your relationship. Never ever assume that you know the other person, what they are feeling, but listen to them. When you listen to them, you are able to help them. You cannot help them, they have to help themselves. So you are able to support them wherever the support is needed. Or sometimes your spouse may just want you to listen to them without doing anything, without like it will be up to you to support, whether you don't want to support, but sometimes they just want to listen. I go to a place sometimes where I just want somebody to listen. I will just tell my story and just want that person to listen. But sometimes we live in this world where people have expectations when it comes to relationship, when it comes to everything that happens in this world. So make sure that when your expectations are not met as well, make sure that you communicate your needs to your spouse is very, very important. And the foundation, whatever we put on that foundation, is the critical component of how we are able to love ourselves and be who we are meant to be in a relationship. And also know your values, your beliefs, the things that makes you happy, and the things that makes the person make who you are as a person, and which is character and attitude. Sometimes when people enter a relationship, they change their character because they're desperate for the other person to love them. They're desperate. If you are in a relationship, you feel that you still have to compete to be a woman in that man is not a relationship. If you are in a relationship, you feel as a man that you still have to compete to win that woman, for that woman to love you. That's not a relationship anymore. A relationship does not take away your identity. It does not change you. who you are, but you change through growth. You grow together with your spouse. So that is very, very important to identify that and how to stop repeating the same mistakes. Because when you lose the person who you are, and being the best version of yourself, it means that if there's been some mistakes in the past, it means that I need to stop those mistakes and foster personal growth. No, instead of repeating the past, which is involve conscious effort and commitment to change. You have to commit yourself wanting to change by reflecting on past mistakes. Wanting to change, take time to evaluate your life and take time to actually to acknowledge your past mistakes without blame, understand the patterns, what bring those patterns, and what are the triggers as well, and take responsibilities. We cannot live a life where there is blame. You cannot accept, you can accept accountability of your actions, but you cannot live a life where you blame others. Of course, people enter your life and they will, when they enter your life, sometimes they'll play a part where you find yourself, your life like falling. But what you cannot do is stay in that moment where you blame them. You have to be accountable for your life. You have a choice. No matter how much you go through in life, you have a choice to be the person that God created you to be. That is by understanding who you are, understanding your values, understanding the things that what makes Nomsa. Who am I? I have to ask myself that question when I'm in a relationship with my spouse. Who am I? Who is Nomsa? What's my purpose on earth? I'm in a relationship. I'm in a relationship to save guys. That's what I'm in a relationship for. I'm a woman. I'm a provider. A woman, a man is a provider. A man provides for his family, a woman provides for her family. Even if a woman decides to um, raise children, to move away from work, instead of working, or those women who are full-time moms, they are still providing for their family. They are managing home. So it does not change, they are still providing. So if you are a woman and you're like, you know what, I feel like I don't have my identity anymore. It is how you look at things. You go to work, you earn money, but when you have children, one of the parents have to stay at home to raise the kids. Or some parents, they will choose to, it depends with the choices. Some parents will choose to send the children to childcare, which is depend with what we want. We all different, and that choice is not wrong either. Whether you decided to stay at home, whether you decided to get a childcare to go back to work and look after the kids, either way, you're still providing for your family. A woman is a provider. A man is a provider. A man is a man is an architect. A woman, she's a mentor. She does not change the best version of herself, how her man met her. She does not change. All the changes that are happening is the growth. She grows. She becomes this dedicated woman who loving and compassionate, who has empathy, who cares about her husband, who cares about her children, who cares about her in-laws. That is if that door is open. Some in-laws when you get married. So I'm just trying to cover everything, guys, because I don't want somebody say, but I care for my in-laws, but they don't care about me. Remember, when we get married, there are some people who will accept us in our lives, There's some people who won't accept us, but that's okay. So you are still a mentor. You mentor your husband. You mentor to become who he wants to become. The reason why a woman is a mentor and a man is an architect, a man has to have a vision. If you are a man who is watching my talk show and you are like, I want to enter a relationship, but if you don't have a vision, because that woman, she has her own vision, but she wants to know, how are you going to look after her if you date, if she gets into a relationship with you? She's already got a job, she's independent, but she just wants to see that this man has a vision. Because a man has to have a vision, like how is he gonna raise his family? What kind of a town? He has to imagine this life where, you know what, I imagine myself in this city, raising my children, um, being a teacher to my children. A man is also a teacher and teaching my children family values. That's why we call a man as a teacher. And so he has to have that mindset of, okay, I have a job, I earn good money, or even if they don't earn good money, they still need to have a vision. And the woman listens to her vision. When she meets her man, she'll listen to her vision. So, what's your vision? You say you like me. So, what's your vision? And that's where the man, he pours his vision out there. And this woman, she's like, wow, my vision aligns with yours. Wow, my Prince Charming. And then you start dating. It has to be that excitement, that love has to remain the way you guys met. It might change for growth, but the floodgate of love has to open. You've got to grow in a relationship, not to live as enemies. Some people, they live as enemies, not talking to each other, not doing things together, not doing whatsoever, not doing anything together because, or when somebody forgets something to do or birthday, that person gets angry. You can't get angry if you love somebody. My spouse, if he forgets my birthday, guys, what I do is I don't get angry with him. I ask for his card. I will say, can I have your card, please? It's my birthday. You forgot my birthday. And then I'll buy what I want. Or I'll tell him what I want. I'll send him the link and say, honey, he's done it once. Well, did he forget my birthday? Yeah, because I share my birthday with my mom. So I kept talking about my mom's birthday, my mom, but he remembered anyway. And also, since that day when he forgot my birthday, he was like, I'm no longer buying you birthday present. You just have to just buy whatever you want. I don't buy my birthday present. He doesn't buy me Christmas present because I don't celebrate Christmas. But in the new year, I'll buy whatever I want. So if somebody forgets your birthday or they forget anniversary, and some people believe that is so, you know what, this is so special. How can you forget? It means you don't love me when somebody forgets but that's not the case. We live in this world where life becomes so busy and life becomes so stressful in a way. Like when you go to work, if you are somebody who has a business like me, you know what it means to get busy. So it's very, very important to come in a place of love, so that you both remain in a place of love together and grow together. Me, when I'm in a relationship, I grow, I fit in somebody. I have to accommodate my spouse in my heart. But he cannot control me, but I have to. The reason why I relate to him so I can connect with him. I connect with him. When we met, I connected with him. I related to his story. I sympathize with his story. When I'm talking about story, guys, it means I look at the whole image, his inner world, his outer world, what he's been through life, and I sympathize with it. And I relate to it, I connect to it, I relate to it, sympathize, and then there's a connection. That is me, my energy, and his energy merged together in the realm of the spirit. So when my energy is merged together with him, it means he becomes my lover. He becomes my best friend. He becomes my everything. When he's not happy, that means I'm not happy. When he's sad, there is no way I can be happy. So his sadness is my sadness. Whatever he goes through, I feel it. So it's very, very important to whatever you do when you are dating somebody, always sympathize with that person. And if things get like hard, like there are some people get into alcoholic, and that's why when you're dating somebody and they get into alcoholic or drugs, it doesn't just affect the other person, or if they enter depression with work, if they are not happy. That's why you find when the whole thing of your life, your foundation is affected, that you find that the whole person, two pair people, they get affected because these people are linked together. They are everything in the realm of the spirit and in the physical. So that means the other person is not happy. So it's very, very important when you see your relationship not working, and just seek help and support. When you seek support, it means you both can be happy. But there are some people who don't want to get help. That means you cannot help them. It's either you destroy a relationship until that person decided to actually get help. But you can't help them. You cannot force them either. That's why it's very, very important. The best version of yourself, unapologetic to be you. You can't say, you know what, I have to take on what my spouse has. You can't. It's like for me with my spouse, when I pray to God, I pray for him, God will respond. It's up to him to accept that response of positivity, positive energy. Is up to him. But if he does not respond to God's help, you'll pass him by. You'll pass through. That's why the best version of yourself, it means stay in the present moment. It means whatever you go through in life, communicate what you're going through to your spouse. Be in the present moment. Don't let the problems distract you, or don't let them take your focus. Whatever you do in life, stay focused. In a relationship, still sympathize with your spouse. Have compassion with yourself. Love yourself more. Accept yourself more. You will, whatever you do with this, if whatever I do with myself, if I'm happy within, my spouse will be happy as well in a relationship, regardless of what challenges we go through in life. He will be happy. When I was with my ex couldn't understand. He would tell me the problems that he go through, or he will go to work. Maybe things don't go according to plan at work, business not going well. So he comes and confide in me. I'll give him a hug. Tell him that everything is gonna be okay. You will pull through these challenges in life, and we will fight together, we win this together. And what I would do is, because I'm a Christian, I would then go to God and say, God, this is what my spouse is going through with his business and is affecting our relationship. Could you please make a way? That means that I cannot stay in a destructive way when I'm communicating with God. I have to go in a place and be positive, and I have to wait for the outcome. And at the same time, I need to implement. I need to encourage my spouse to implement. He cannot get distracted. The more I do that, the more he could not understand. He will be like, Nomsa, I feel like when I talk to you, you don't care, because I wouldn't show my emotional of defeat. I would show my emotional of positivity, is because that's what I get taught. Like growing up as a child, my father taught me to do this, be that. And in order for you, Nomsa, to succeed, there is no man that is going to pick you up. There is no woman that is going to pick you up. Only you and God can pick yourself up, implementing things by, and I go to football. The character is the same. So why he could not understand it was my character. When I go to football, if I'm sad, if I have a fight with my spouse, I can't tell my manager that I can't play football because I'm feeling sad. It means every pain that I'm feeling, I have to go to the pitch and kick some butt and win the game using my feelings of what I'm going through. So, meaning that when my spouse tells me that is things are not going well, I don't just need to feel sorry for myself and so and show some defeat. I need to pray to God and I need to implement, but he couldn't understand. But after he understood, he came back to me and said, Namsa, now I get you. And I couldn't get you before, now I do. I'm going to take that attitude with me and be who I want to become. But this one, my spouse, when I met him, he actually got to realize what kind of a person that I am. Well, the first time when I met him, for the first 6 months, he knew that I'm not a woman that feels sorry for herself. I'm not a woman that is very judgmental. I haven't got time, guys, to judge people. I haven't got time for, if there is some things that I need to ask, I need to understand, I take action by taking a step and communicate and ask questions. I will not go and ask somebody else. I have to get the answer from the person that I'm dating. And that was the decision that I made when I started personal development, that I am going to divorce the lies that I tell myself. I'm going to create this best version of myself, and I'm going to be the woman that God created me to become, where I had to stand by what I believe in, which is you cannot create your true identity if you are not authentic. So you have to be authentic. You have to create your image. The first thing that I did, it was the lies that I told myself that I wasn't enough. I had to get rid of them. I had to work on my forgiveness. There were people in the process growing up and friends or being in that moment, in that environment that I needed to forgive. So I had to forgive and I had to forgive myself. There were things that I was carrying myself. And when I met my spouse met me in a good place. I was in a good place, but luckily he was clever enough to say what he was dating. So he saw exactly this is the person that I'm dating. And in order for me to actually keep up with this person, I'm going to have to accept Nomsa for who she is as a person. There's two options in life for me, is to do the things that I believe that I am supposed to be doing, or to be the woman that I believe that God created me to be, and at the same time welcome my spouse into my world so they can enjoy this world that is not perfect. My world is not a perfect world. So if you are looking for that perfect nomsa, that is amazing, cannot do no wrong, you got to keep searching because that nomsa doesn't exist in my world. So I'm a woman with my imperfection that make mistakes. I'm a woman that is sometimes I might feel tired, then I want to go to sleep. I don't want to have sex. I'm a woman that sometimes I want to pray, I want to connect to God, and sometimes I want to have my space and be with God. I'm a woman that when you come home, I don't want to stress you. I want to have a hug. I want to hear your story. If you had a stressful day, tell me your story, share it with me. But if you push me away and say, I don't want to talk, that's okay that moment. But make sure that you open up with me because I don't have time for games. It's either I support you, I'm there to support you, or it's either you deal with it in your own pace, but you got to deal it in right place where I don't get to drag down into feeling depression. I'm that woman. My life is just uh, black and white. I don't do I don't play mind games. Before I used to do that. If the guy wants to talk to me that I'm dating, if they had said to me, I don't want to talk to you, I'll play the silent mood. I don't want to talk to you. But now I look back and I laugh. I don't do that anymore. I'm all I put somebody else, people's, I have to, if you are in a relationship, you have to, when you live a free life within, a life that does not have a stagnation or a stronghold, it means that you communicate your needs and you want to know what is going. My spouse knows me. If it does not open up, I leave him alone. I wait for him to open up, but then he will come and tell me that, okay, this is the reason why, or he's going through a work, or sometimes he will like pressure at work. So sometimes when somebody is going through pressure, sometimes when I talk, or sometimes they deal, most many they deal with things, but this one knows. If he's going through something, he knows he's got to share it with me so I can support him. He is the attitude that I put across to him that you want to date me, you want this relationship to work, we've got to share our story together. We are in this together, bad or good and bad. So he knows that this is the kind of a woman that I am dating because I have communicated that. And that is the more I do that, the more I grow. So all those things you can look at your life and instead of um, uh, wanting to change for somebody. You don't have a relationship that it wants you to grow in it. So he is my architect. Although I have my own business, but he is still I still respect him as a man. He knows he's a man anyway. We let him think that way, guys. Shh. Yeah. So he is a man. And just and also don't try to change each other. It doesn't work. When you try to change the other person to be what you want them to become. My spouse likes these things that he likes that I don't even understand his hobbies, but I try to listen to his hobbies and I try to support him. I support him, not try, I support him. Or sometimes he plays games. I haven't got a clue about games. He'll come and tell me about this character. I have to sit there and listen and listen and listen. Or sometimes I don't even have a clue what he's talking about. And then he has to explain what it means. But I just have to be there. I can't say, honey, I don't want to listen to your troubles with games because it's passion, guys. is passion. When somebody is passionate about something, you cannot take that away from them. So he keeps his best version until his mind decide, I don't want to play the game. I love football myself. And when I go footballer, I scream. Guys, I'm like screaming. When you're sitting next to me, you got to be somebody who is really, really a football supporter. Or if you say, no, sir, I'm coming with you to watch the match, you cannot come if you know that you're boring. Or no, you can't. So you just have to, you can't fake it. You just have to come and be real. So that's what I do. I just scream and scream and scream because I'm supporting my team. So those are the things that, and I love football. So he loves other things, the things that he loves, skydiving. He loves it. And what else does he like? That is so scary. Yeah, I don't like skydiving. But nice people that like style, like I've met people through when I go when he goes skydiving because I have to wait. But they're nice people. But to me, it's scary. And maybe one day I'll do it. So we have these things that we like, things that we do together, and the things that we do separate, so we can hear each other's things, and also if you have friends, guys, if you have friends, have one night where you go out with your friends a week and spend time with your friends. You don't just need to be in a relationship and just shut the whole world. If you have good friends, keep them. And it's very, very important to create that best version of yourself. Still keep your friends. As long as they are good friends, they support you with your marriage. There are some friends that when you enter a relationship, they change because they can no longer relate to you anymore. They want you to be single like them. So those friends, that's another story for another topic. But if you have friends that support you, they want to see you happy, those are family. For me, my friends, they're like a family. So the only difference is they are not blood. So I keep them as family, those who we get along, we have same values and same beliefs, and we have similar goals. We're all aiming to be the best. So all those things, and also have goals, set realistic goals in your relationship, and achievable goals and personal or business. Be a good communicator, communicate yourself, and create a plan for change. Be the changer, wanting to change all the time. Develop a plan and outline the steps, how you're going to achieve whatever you want to achieve. If you are somebody like me, guys, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I I write plans, I create goals. The tricky one is where I write step by step plans. It never goes according to plan. Every step that I take in my life, it never goes according to plan. Because I came to a place where I accept God for who He is in my life. He saved me. Some of you have seen my video talking about the human blood sacrifice, how God saved me. So I came to understand that if I need help, God can help me. So what I do is I write these goals and I write step by step plan with my spouse, plan with my children, the future, and even if the future looks good, or even if the plans that I have, they look so good. But if those plans will take me to a temporal place, not a permanent place, God interferes with my plan. So I then have to do the plan that is going to take me to a long-term plan. So Be create plans step by step. Be prepared to rewrite them. Don't stick to what you know. I like the unknown. I like to walk in a path where is the unknown. When I'm walking in a path that makes me uncomfortable, it makes me comfortable, it's fine. But if God takes me to a place where it makes me feel uncomfortable, I'm okay with it as well. So I welcome that plan and I go for it. So be the best version of yourself is challenging yourself. Even in business, I challenge myself. I had this plan like a few months ago. I had these big goals and these big plans that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And I set up this, I set up that. But because when I do all these plans, I come to a place where I ask God, I tell God, and I tell the universe out loud, I'll sit in my living room, I'll write my plans and I'll do everything. When I'm finished with all my plans, writing it, then I'll connect with God and I'll go to a place where I fast. When I fast, and then I will ask God to raise a voice for me. If this plan that I have planned, if it's going to take me to the next level, please, God, help me to grow, help me to find my helpers, help me to unleash my abilities so I can be better, so I can do more in my plans. Help me to connect with my intelligence more so I can produce better products, whatever I'm doing. But if God says, no, Nomsa, is the wrong direction, I will sit here with my plans and something will just happen and change the whole thing, the whole plan, the whole everything. And then I have to go for it if it makes sense. But I never, because it is, I never used to listen to it. But until one of the coaches, I think, yeah, one of the coaches said, Nomsa, every time you tell me about your prayer, things go somewhere else. Listen to what you're praying. So I never listened to what I was praying. I would just pray and then things will go there and then I would think it's a problem. But now I do listen to my prayers. And once I ask God to intervene, He will change my story and put my story in a stable, proper way. I had all these plans with my business that this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. And when I was doing all those plans, I met this person, and I didn't meet them. I won the coaching programs. I was in front of my computer, and I was like, oh, Cy Black is going live in, and I was doing Bible study. So I was like, okay, let me join Cy Black Band. Let me just join him and um, just listen to his workshop. And we're doing the workshop. And by the end of the workshop, guys, that's why I'm saying the best version of yourself, no matter what you go through in life, never, ever, ever look at your life and just see pain or whatever you go through. So at the time my website had gone down, it disappeared completely. And Des is my business coach. He's a very, very business coach. He's been coaching me for 4 years. Yeah, 4.5 years. He is a very, very good coach. And he is also very, very expensive. So now my website is down and our coaching had come to an end. So I'm like, I'm used to having money. So now my website is down and now somebody has to build the website. My clients cannot find me. They're putting me back. And at home, I had to stay cool in my relationship. I had to be realistic. I had to keep implementing. My spouse had to keep supporting me. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go. So it's very, very important to be the best version of yourself, guys. It means when you're being defeated, always pull yourself up. So I'm sitting in front of the computer. By the end of that workshop, I ended up with a coaching for that cost 25 grand with Sai because it was like, okay, before you guys stay till the end and we're gonna do some prizes. And I was like, just stay there. I'm so miserable, but I don't show. Sometimes when I'm miserable, I don't show anybody, but inside I know. And I know that God is with me. And he was like, we're going to ask us some questions by the end, and or we're going to do some prize draw. So then he's like playing the music. So I'm just dancing and being silly. So then he says, Nomsa, can you press the button? Press the button. And they choose me. I press the button for the prize. And then I end up with a coaching. And I was like, okay, thank you. And that is the story of being the best version of yourself. I ended up with, I'm worried about not being able to pay for my coaching for the whole year. And theirs is even cheaper than Blackburn. Sai is so expensive. So I ended up with coaching for that to keep me going for a year. So I was like, God is good. So I made these plans with my coaching, and I'm like planned with my marketing guys. We're all planned to do whatever it takes to do this, to do that. And then I'm saying to God, this is the goals that I need to reach. And then it connect me with somebody that is going to help me to more take my business to the next level. And then I find myself again in this position where I see my life changing to the next level because I'm still maintaining my best version of myself, even though things don't make sense to me. I'm still going in a relationship. I'm still going in my business. I'm still going. So I'm sharing this with you guys is when you are in a relationship or business wise, when you are in a relationship, things affect everything gets affected if you are not the best. If you are not the best version of yourself, your workplace you will get affected in business, or whether you work for the company, that company, your performance gets affected. The relationship at home gets affected. So the best way is to work on yourself, communicate your problems, share your problems, not with everybody. There are some people that you cannot share your problems with because they will make things worse. So find that person that will listen to you, that will be wanting to help you, guide you through life. So all those things, they play a big part in our relationship. Be the best version of yourself by seek feedback from people, learning new skills, practice self-awareness, develop habits, healthy habits, be patient and be persistent, and also seek professional help if it's needed. If you need professional help, please do seek professional help. I am somebody when I'm going through something, goes to talk shows, I'm surrounded by these coaches. I always ask questions. I am always asking, guys. But my coaches, my brothers and my sisters, my partners, they don't ask me anything, but I ask them. Whenever I'm going through something, I know that we are different coaches with the same voice, and we all have different abilities. So I ask questions, guys, I'm doing this. Can you please help me? Or can you guide me to the right direction? And they do. That's how I succeed. And that's how in my relationship, if you come home, they'll tell you that Nomsa, it's like, I just want to know what's going on, what's happening. tell me my spouse comes from work. I want to know what he's been up to all day. He will explain to me, this is what he did. This is what he did. Then I want some love. Once he tells me how his day has been, we have dinner, want some love. And that's the end of the day. Then we all go to sleep. There's no room for drama. So if you are dating somebody who brings drama into your life, you got to pray. Power of the Holy Ghost. Cast out this drama in this person. So it doesn't work. When you date somebody who wants to change you for who you, not to help you grow, it doesn't. Remember when I was talking about a man is a provider, a woman, she's a provider, he's an architect, she's a mentor, she's an inventor, he is a teacher. He teaches his children family values and his missus values. These are my family values, guys. By teaching it, he does not control, but he puts himself out there to his children. My children, if you're going to be part of this family, these are the values and beliefs that we live by. But he also raises his children to become who they want to become. So that's why a man is a teacher. And if you find a man, you find you're dating a man that is annoying, that it does not build you, like that's why Tony Robbins is always say, when you are dating somebody, look at who you are becoming in that relationship. Once you see who you're becoming, then evaluate your relationship based on what you're becoming. But there are some people as well who enter a relationship, they themselves have problem within, and they think is the other person that is a problem. So it's very, very important to make sure that evaluate your life yourself. If you want to take your life to the next level and be the best version of yourself in that relationship and live a happy life, communication, a regular check-in, and share goals and values and respect individuals' growth and be flexible, support each other with your goals, grow together, learn to grow together. And when you learn to grow together, have a quality time, celebrate every milestone together. If you do need this professional guidance, seek professional guidance, maintain intimacy. Emotional and physically intimacy are the essential aspects of a relationship. So maintain that. Make an effort to connect with your spouse emotionally and physically. That's why you relate to somebody, stay connected to that person. The reason why people disconnect is unforgiveness. When your spouse does something wrong to you, please do forgive. This world is not perfect. Nobody is perfect. Forgive them and move on. Don't remind them what they've done wrong in the past. Forgive. What makes us who we are is the mistakes that we make, and those mistakes, we don't look at them as mistakes. Look at them as skills that you're learning in order to become somebody. If it ain't for my mistakes, guys, I will not be where I am today. I will not be where I am today as Nomsa. I wouldn't. But I am here today because the mistakes that I have made in the past, they have helped me to grow because I acknowledge them. The mistakes that we make, they only help you to grow if you acknowledge them and take responsibilities. Take responsibility to the person you want to become. Don't say, I have not become this because of my spouse. If you're dating the wrong spouse, you move on or you can grow. I don't change my spouse. I grow. Whatever I'm doing, if my spouse is shut down, instead of me wasting time communicating with him, does not want to open up. Many, they have that problem. Sometimes they don't want to open up. I go to God. And I say, God, raise a voice on my spouse's behalf. When I'm asking God to raise a voice, it means I'm asking God, whatever the pain that my spouse is going through, I'm asking God, the angels of God, to go and intervene, direct him to the right direction. If it is at work, the angels of God will go and raise a voice at work. I don't play no mind games, guys. If the angels of God will go to work, if somebody is giving him problems at work, the angels of God will go to work. They'll help him with the situation, find a solution. If the solution is within where he needs help, the angels of God will go to him and ease that situation. That's why I pray. And then when he eases the situation, he help him to give him strength. So then when he comes home, he'll come home and now he want to confide in me. I don't go to, before I used to waste time, but Lucifer taught me one thing. When he tortured me, he taught me one thing, that I am the creator of my destiny. When I was going through, when he put me in that condemnation of judgment with all the other gods, they saying we putting you under judgment for crucifixion, it was me that has to tell my story, to say, no, you cannot put me on that judgment. The reason why is because God has already been on the cross for me. That blood that was split will speak for me. You, Lucifer, have no right to put me on that. The reason why he has no right is because I acknowledge my sins. I acknowledge um, my parents' sins, my ancestors, whatever is going on, whatever went on. And I acknowledge this person that wants to put me for human blood sacrifice, which is I say, no, I'm not going to die for them. And that showed me that I can speak, I can create my life, who I want to be. While I'm here, I get to decide. That's what he taught me. But at the time, he thought he was torturing me. But the more I got to know the situation of how the universe works, how God works, I got to know that whenever you have problems at work, in the office, guys, please don't waste the time in trying to convince somebody to listen to your story, to listen to the side of the story. Don't waste that time. Paradigm. We live in the world of the galaxy everywhere. The energy is moving. You want to be the best version of yourself. The energy is moving. Good energy is moving around. Bad energy is moving around. Which one do you want to accept? So you got to be in that place where you just want to be you. You don't want to, if you're a man, you're married, you don't want to, yes, we're married, we have children, we have our spouse, but in order for you to be happy in that relationship, for your spouse to be happy, you got to stay in a best version of yourself by be the person that you were created to become. Once you move away from your destiny and trying to please your spouse, if I come to you, I want to go shopping, and you see that we spend too much money, why would you say yes to me if you know that, okay, Nomsa, maybe this month we spend too much money? Yes, I'm getting excited. Honey, I saw that dress that I like. Do you think, can I go and spend it? Why would you say yes? That's not the best version of yourself. The best version of yourself is please be authentic and say, why would you go and work overtimes and not spending time with family to have extravagant holidays? if that kills you as a man or as a woman. I've seen men who spend 24/7 at work, working long hours to please their spouse so they can have expensive holidays. Why would you do that if it's making you miserable? So you don't have to do all those things. You want holiday, you want expensive holidays, you can have expensive holidays by getting creative. Make some creative plan where you can work less and earn money and earn more money. Instead of saying, okay, I'm gonna go to work, my spouse really likes, I want to please my spouse. Hell no. I don't want my spouse to please me. No, I don't want him to please me. I don't want, because we are not in a relationship to please each other. We are in a relationship to have pleasure together, to enjoy life, be the person that we were both created to be. If we can afford the expensive holidays, yes, we can go on holidays, guys. Unapologetic, we can go have fun on holidays. But if we can't afford it, it's a no. We stay at home. We stay at home, guys. If you look back, if you look at my when I began my talk show 3 years ago, I lived in a big mansion. You go and look back on my video. But then lockdown came. When lockdown came, I was like, my spouse started getting worried now. He started getting like like he was worried, sharing his concern with me. What you don't do is share concern with me about money. If you share concern with me about money, me, I downgrade. That's how I was taught as a child, that you spend what you have, you don't spend what you don't have. So I downgrade. So he raises concern. He is me like, we have to move this house. We don't need to live in this house. And then we did move. And when we move, and then we are unhappy again. And then I was like, make up your mind. But that unhappy, it was okay because it was no longer being unhappy because of the place. They were unhappy because they couldn't get used to living in a small place. But for me, I was okay knowing that we don't have to worry about the money. But now we can go back and buy a bigger place. That's fine. So that is okay. So it's all about not doing what's right and just being you and not worrying. And most people, they worry about other people. You don't need to worry about others. Live your life based on you, guys. There are some people, they drive big cars, they can't afford them. They live in big mansions, they can't afford them. They stressing, end up being on depression, on pills. I've learned this with Lucifer when I watch them, because sometimes I could see what he's doing to my friends or people that are connected to me, and I was like, I'm not gonna, never ever gonna let him do that to me. But with me, I'll challenge him. When he do that, I'll challenge him. Honestly, I will sit down and tell him that you can take away the finances, you can take away this, but I will still be standing because my health is more important. So I've learned so many things, that life is a choice that you have to decide. When you enter that relationship, you got to decide who you're becoming in that relationship, and you grow with that person. And when you grow with that person, you let them grow as well. And that's when the relationship is not perfect, but you you're managing it, you're maintaining your love life, you're maintaining your intimacy emotionally and physically. You don't just have sex for the sake of, we have to have sex because we're married. Stay connected. in the realm of the spirit and in the realm of the physically. You stay connected together. You become one. When he cries, you cry. When he does this, he does this, he does this. And that is the beauty of life. But before, I used to think this person has to change because this is the men, the guys that I date, this. Honestly, when women come to me and say, "No, sir, I need a man with blue eyes. I need a man with brown eyes," or give me George Clooney, I'm like, I wish if you knew what I know. The reason why I say this is because God does not work how we want, how we think. The universe does not work how we think. God works in destiny. When you are born, your destiny has already been written for you to the end. Until you die, the day God already know the day you're gonna die. There's no problems, there is nothing. So all you have to do is keep claiming your true identity. That's what I do. Before, I used to say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this." Me, I claim my identity. I claim my talent. God is show me who I'm supposed to be. I claim my talent. I claim my abilities. Show me my true abilities. Who am I supposed to be? When I go to the office, raise a voice for me. Let me become the person that I am supposed to become. When I'm in a relationship, God, raise a voice for me. When I'm speaking to my spouse, let me be me. Let me speak the words of love, the words that are truthful, the words that are authentic. Let me be the person that I want to be. Let my spouse be who he's meant to become. But before, I would think that, oh, you know what? If I believe that, if you believe that you are meant to be a millionaire, you got to claim it exactly how you believe it. But if there's any way that you have second thoughts, that's how I've learned when Lucifer was putting fear in me. That's what he taught me, basically, that whatever you believe, it is your destiny. If you believe that I am going to be a billionaire, of course, it might be a bumpy road, but you become that. Whatever you believe, if you believe you're going to get married, you get married. Nobody can take that away from you unless you let it take it away. You can change it by being defeated or falling and not being able to get up. Whatever you believe, it becomes real, guys. If you believe you're authentic, I'm authentic, I'm this, and I'm gonna go into a relationship, I'm gonna be this man that I was created to become. I'm this man, I'm this, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be this. God always make it happen for you. If that's what you believe, and if it is your destiny. But if he knows that you're crying for your desires, you want to become the person that you want to become, but you're going the wrong path, he will put you straight to that path and you keep going. All you have to do is keep that mentality, that attitude, that determination, have courage, the right friends, the right support, the right person in your life, and you get there. Regardless of what, you get there. Eventually, you always get there. I've learned that the hard way. I've learned it. When Lucifer pulled me to the second heaven, I knew I wanted to leave. And a God showed me that he has pulled me to the second heaven. The throne of grace, God is in the third heaven. The heaven, the hell is in the second heaven. But he had pulled me to the third heaven, to the second heaven, to crucify me. And then I kept saying what I needed to be. I was like, I ain't dying for nobody. That's not my death. I ain't dying for you. Because the angel of God was helping me to give me strength. But if by any chance I had a second thought, doubted God or doubted the angel of God that was helping me, I would have died. But at that moment, I realized that I have a choice in life. I can actually design my life how I want, and then I get to where I need to be. So that's how it works in life. You have a choice. My beliefs are my beliefs, but you use your beliefs does not mean they're wrong, but ask them to take you where you need to be. You get there. As long as you don't fall and you say, you know what, I cannot do this anymore. That's the best version of yourself. It means you follow, you pick yourself up, you communicate your needs in a relationship. You tell your spouse, you speak to your spouse, uh, tell them how you want them to serve you. They are your king. Your spouse is your king, and you are the queen. He's the king, you are the queen. Tell the king how you want to be served. How would you like me to serve you? Communicate and communicate. If there's a misunderstanding, take a break, take a breathe. The words that we say, they will determine how our relationship is able to get to the next level. Speak words of healing, words of that help somebody to grow. If you are not happy, don't go to 20. If you are into 2024, they made you unhappy in 2021 or 2020. Don't, if you are not happy in 2024, don't bring what happens in 2020. They don't need to hear that. Tell them what is happening now, how you want to move your life forward. That's how you need to do it. And that's how God helped me to defeat Lucifer and his angels and his people on earth. I was like, I acknowledge what my ancestors did, but I ask for forgiveness. I ask God to forgive me. And the moment God says yes, and I stick it to his, and I'll be like, what next? Then he will bring another judgment. What next? Bring another judgment. He kept doing that until I told him, now get lost. Even if it feels like the energy it feels hard, or it feels like the world is against you, the odds against you, you need to bring that energy and keep your authenticity. And if you're not happy with the in your relationship, express it. And it doesn't matter. Don't worry about the people. They worry about losing that person. I always say to people, anything that is meant for me, it will never leave me, just because I'm being honest. Anything that is not meant for me, it will leave me because it was never meant for me. So whatever the relationship that I have with my friends, with my what, if my friends come to me for an advice, they're gonna get the truth. First, I have to check, do you want me to tell you what you want to hear, or do you want me to tell you the truth? And the truth requires me to support them, to be there for them. And I do have girlfriends, like I've known them for a long time. Sometimes when they have relationship problems, they come to me because to them I'm their sister, and they think I'm gonna tell them what they think they want to hear. And I always tell them the truth, that you get to decide how you design your life when it comes to relationship. NOMSA does not get to decide for you. You get to decide. You get to be the best man in your relationship. You get to be the best woman in your relationship. But you don't get to be a pleaser. That's frustration, that's depression. If you are a man who feels that I have to buy my children because I have to buy my wife because, or my spouse, my partner, because I have to do this, I have to do that that's not the right way. You buy because you can afford it. That's when you buy because for your children or for your wife or for yourself, because you can afford it. You work really hard, reward yourself for it. But if you don't have a big car, your neighbors have that big car, it's none of your business. Don't compare yourself with anybody. Life is not a competition. Just live your life how you want to live. If you can afford the big one, go get the big one. Because we work really hard, guys. Can't afford the big one, don't worry about people judging you or looking at you and say she works, but she's no she hasn't got it, she's not driving expensive car. Don't worry about that. Don't worry, when we die, we leave everything behind. So that's why I'm saying, guys, if you wanna buy expensive car, if you can afford it, be it. But if you don't stress. God bless everyone. I'm still doing live. Once making me go to A&E. Yeah, so those are the things that we need to look at. So, guys, I am going to. It's Friday today. Have a good weekend. Have a good Friday. It's a Friday today. Have a lovely, lovely time with your families, and I will connect with you on Monday. And live with grace. And if you want to connect with me, please do go to my website, www.hseia.com. And if you want love, you can connect me for relationship. If you want coaching, however you want to do, please do. God bless.